What is up, truckers? Fellow truckers, I'm back. I never went anywhere, but you guys did, because the last video ended and then I came back wearing the old monster cap today that I got with the old monster. Ooh, almost had it. Monster promotion stuff. Oh, head one way, logo the other. American Truck Simulator. We're going to be back to it. Apparently, I still haven't built my wheel thing yet. I talked about it last video. I've been working like for 2 weeks straight, pretty much. So much that I got blisters on my thumb. They're starting to go away now. So I haven't done my wheel stand yet, but soon. So this is going to be me on the keyboard still. But soon we are going to have my wheel stand of death built. But let's get into it and let's look at, it looks like Utah is going to be released in November. So hopefully I can get my wheel done before Utah comes out, the new state that they're going to add to American Truck Simulator. Also, the road to the Baltic, I believe it's called, the one that goes through Europe and Romania and stuff in Euro Truck Simulator is going to be out. It says in 2019, so I don't know if it's November or December, but we will be playing that as well. I'm going to keep Saturdays, I think I've said it before, I'm going to kind of keep Saturdays for my American truck or my trucking day for videos, so you'll see some shifts as the new content comes out. We will be doing some of the Utah content as well as some of the other content in Euro Truck Simulator, and hopefully both will be done on my steering wheel. So let's get cracking into it. My last video, super damn long, 2 hours, 2.5 hours I think it was. I'm gonna not do that long in this video. I know, audible sigh from the audience. Not a 2.5 hour trucking video, why not, Daniel? Because it just doesn't make sense. By the way, I am rocking my Fear Farm shirt. Went to Fear Farm last night out here in Arizona, 99th and McDowell. Not that majority of the people watching this probably live in Arizona. But we went to Fear Farm last night and it was as it is. It was exciting. Yeah, haunted houses. It is today, it's actually October 30th. We are one day before Halloween. Looking over the Halloween sales in Steam there. I only found 2 games I wanted to buy. I was going to buy more, but I want to save for, there's a game coming out on the 31st, so it'll be out by the time this video is up. Song of Horror. That looks interesting to me. I want to get that when it comes out tomorrow, and I may do some videos on that, of course. That said, it's hard to sell. I'm just going to go right into my blabbing after we get the music going. It's hard for me to sometimes feel the need to buy stuff on a Halloween sale. Now I love horror games, don't get me wrong. I think it's a little harder for me to want to invest with the I want to call it Black Friday, but the fall sale coming on Steam, you know, when they do the what do these guys have for loads? Let's see what these loads are, because these look interesting. It's hard for me to invest in some games during this time of year because Black Friday and holiday sales and stuff, they really do have some awesome discounts on Steam, and I kind of like waiting for that time. In fact, I tell everybody all year long, if you are, yeah, let's go through Southern Arizona for $28,000. I'll take that job. It's a tractor. If you're looking for games, now here's the thing. I mean, I build my wish list all year long, and I'm sure most of us have a huge backlog that we're never ever going to get to fully play through. So I'll build my library. I think my wish list is down to 92. Maybe it's like 85 items on there. That includes DLC though, so fair note, like not all of that is, I guess I'll pull over and sleep at this gas station. Not all of that is, wait, yeah, I definitely don't have time. When's the necessary? Saturday, okay. the DLC I have on there is like, and the one that drives me nuts is there's a game, and the DLC, every time it's on sale, it's only $1.24, and there's only 4 that I'm missing. But it's like, I still have not convinced myself to just buy it, and I don't know why. It's just one of those things. I need to just buy it and get it out of there, because that takes up 4 spots on my freaking wish list that makes me think I got tons of stuff that I need to buy. Like, you know your wish list is bad when you get an email from Steam that says 25 items on your wish list are on sale, and you're like, oh crap, I'll never be able to afford all 25 of those damn items. And then you look and you're like, oh yeah, a lot of that does include DLC, so I guess we're okay. So anyways, hard for me to find the desire to buy some stuff on this sale, just because with the other sale being so close. But I did pick up Layers of Fear 2. I liked the first game, and I know Bloober Team made Blair Witch Project, and I really wanted to play that, and I was almost gonna buy that, but I kind of want to do Layers of Fear 2 first. So I did pick that up, and I looked, and I don't have a Layers of Fear series on this channel, which means I did just play it on the console. I think I played it on the console the first time anyways. But that also means that I could surely set one of those out. So I'll probably go through the first one again, but this time on PC, and then we'll laugh at the random baby that runs past as a jump scare and hits its head on the wall. If you haven't seen it, then you'll see it. I'm probably gonna play through that, and then we'll go into the second one. And the other game I purchased was something Bandit. I'm trying to think of what it's called now. Let me check my... Hey guy, stay in your lane. Oh, what do I got the headlights on for, or the brights on for? The game that I'm talking about, there we go, let's check the Steam receipt. Showdown Bandit Episode 1. That game was produced, if I remember correctly, by the people who made Bendy and the Ink Machine. So I felt that's probably going to be cool. And right now, I think the sale ends on Halloween, but if it's Saturday the 2nd, you could always check, see if the sale's still going on, or just wait for it maybe in the fall sale. Episode 1, normally $8, was only like $1 something, like $1.79 or something like that. So I was not gonna say no to something like that. Bendy and the Ink Machine, I loved that game. I still need to finish episode 5. I have 4 videos on the channel for Bendy. I just haven't finished the final chapter, and since I haven't played it in forever, it's probably gonna be even worse when I go back to try to do it. However, I really like the game in general as a whole. I like the aesthetic, I like the cartoons, I like the characters, I liked everything. So that's it for your horror update in American Truck Simulator. The update you didn't ask for, but you got anyways. But I like horror games. I love horror games. It's hard to find a good horror game. This kind of goes back to me going to Fear Farm. It's hard to find something that actually scares me in horror games or movies. Movies is worse. Games, it can happen because you get so focused, you can get startled. So it's a little easier, I think, in games, and I like when it's good horror. And it doesn't have to be, you know, jump scares all the time, and it doesn't have to be, you know, cheap scares. But I like good horror. You know, I can watch a movie that doesn't scare me, and if it has a good story, that's good horror to me. Like, I don't have to be scared to say it's a good horror movie. So, it's hard to find sometimes the games. I know recently, I think I uploaded a video for it. I'm not sure. I picked up Visage. I know it's still in early access. I believe it's still in early access right now. That game got a few jumps out of me. Layers of Fear, I don't believe it did, the first one. I'm not 100%, but I don't believe it did. Observer, actually, and I love that game, and that's also by the Bloober team who made, like I said, Layers of Fear and Blair Witch. Uh, Rutger Hauer, gone too soon. I mean, dude was older, but Rutger Hauer, man. If you haven't seen Hobo with a Shotgun, do yourself a favor, cut off a little RV like I just did, slide back in before you get smashed by a U-Haul looking truck, and then watch Hobo with a Shotgun if you like weird, twisted, just out there movies. That movie is crazy, and it definitely reminds me of like your 80s, I guess, exploitation horror movies, I guess you would call it, where some things were over the top and the things were a little zany and stuff. But watch Hobo with a Shotgun. It's a great movie, and I loved Rutger Hauer in that, his voice and everything. And then in Observer, his voice is awesome. You're the main character. He's the main character. So, like his just gravel and grit. I love it. It's awesome. So, Observer, I actually liked that game as well. I think that one made me jump a little bit. I know there was one time I remember where early on the shopkeep guy or whatever, I think you're snooping kind of in the main office and he kind of just pops up right behind you. I'm pretty sure that got me. I don't know why that was so effective, but that got me. So, Observer. Now, the one thing that is interesting when I was reading the reviews for Layers of Fear 2, which it has a mixed rating right now, which I don't know. The first one seemed like it was kind of mixed anyways too, as far as what people thought of it. Either kind of loved it or hate it. And as far as storytelling, I thought it was a pretty good story. Observer, now in the first game you couldn't die, if I remember correctly. Like there was no fail state. In Observer, they have these sequences where you're being chased by a creature and you're defenseless. I kind of don't like games where you're defenseless all the time. I mean, I think we're spoiled in our gaming where we're so used to being kind of all powerful. So I think maybe that could be part of it, that it's not really easy to go into a game and be defenseless because there's so many games where you have some kind of weapon or some kind of ability to get rid of the bad guy. Really, truck, make up your mind. I'm ready to go around you, buddy. In Observer, it wasn't hard. There was just a few times, I think I died maybe once or twice. Of course, it takes you back to a checkpoint. It's no big thing. But it was a little bit of difficulty with that. Apparently, in reading the reviews a bit and browsing them, for Layers of Fear, they kind of incorporated, it sounds like a similar idea of a monster that chases you and you kind of just have to run past them. Some reviews seem to indicate it's not that bad, don't miss the game just because of those. Other people seem to be pretty upset with those concepts or those gameplay mechanics. I'm right in the middle. Like I said, I played Observer and they weren't that bad. So I felt that Layers of Fear 2 would be just as fine to play because, like I said, I played through it of Observer and I liked it. So, not those sequences in particular, but I liked the game well enough that I think it won't be an issue for me going forward on that. Going forward on that, in that direction. Anyways, so as I was saying though, at Fear Farm last night, I think, and I was talking to the girlfriend, because me and the girlfriend went. It was enjoyable. I think on the scare meter, or scare counter I'll call it, not scare meter, because scare meter would indicate I'm going to give a rating. But on the scare tally, which it's hard to even call it that. Let's call it the startled tally, because it's not like it was scary. I mean, I'm talking, there's people that were running out of some of the houses and stuff. So they were scared. That's legitimately scared. On the startled tally, I think I have one or two more than the girlfriend. Only because, and this is where it sucks. I'm going to tell you a story. The girlfriend, she'll watch horror movies with me, And since we've been together, it's like 2.5 years now. Since we've been together, I've showed her horror movies, and she gets scared. Like, she'll get like that. Like, something can take her like nothing. Whereas me, I can sit there stone cold, killer face, not worry about anything I'm seeing in a movie, because I guess I'm just so used to it. And like I said, it's kind of hard to scare me in a movie, because I guess I'm just ready for it, and I kind of can see some things coming. It's hard. I mean, I think out of all the genres of movies to be a fan of, I think horror is probably one of the harder ones, because you get so used to the tropes and the things that you see that I think it makes it hard to really up the ante. And some films can do it, but it's really hard to up the ante for like someone who's a big horror fan, because there's just so much you're used to that it makes it a challenge. But she'll get scared every time on a lot of them. She's gotten better because she's watched more of them, which is why I said it's hard, because after a while you kind of just you know what's coming. However, at the farm there, I think she was just ready for anything. And I told her, I said, I think what it is that you're like so aware right now that you're not even going to be taken by surprise, because you're so aware. And there, like I said, there was a couple times she got startled scared or whatever, but she was on full alert, I think, and so she didn't get scared. Me, on the other hand, I got scared by dumb stuff like usual. So there was this worker dressed up, if I remember right, in a witch's mask, or we'll call it a witch's mask, kind of like a goblin witch or something like that. And we're walking through, and I'm staring right at her. Like, we're walking towards her, I'm staring right at her with a dumb look on my face, like, oh, you're in a mask. Oh, I can see your mask. Because I was trying to look at the mask too, like, and I'll get to that in a minute, but I was trying to look at the mask. So I was just staring, all dumb, as we're walking towards her. Uh-huh, you're in a mask. This is cool. And then she just moved a little bit, and it startled me. And I'm not gonna lie, that kind of sucked. Staring right at it, knew it was gonna happen, knew it was coming, still got me. It's like, why? There was another one. Which one was it? The Plague. I think the house was called The Plague. And it reminded me a bit of like Resident Evil 7. Not that they directly mimicked it, but that there was some scenes that were reminiscent of Resident Evil 7. There was a bridge that was constructed kind of over a pond, which was really cool. There was a cop car, like an older cop car, like it was a regular car, I think, but they just put a cop light on it, you know, but it was all kind of rolled into a garage and kind of stuck there. So, what was the other thing? And then there was kind of a house, kind of like, so the pond reminded me of like the Marguerite level, if you've played Resident Evil 7, where, oh, I nudged that guy? Oh, man. Where you're out, I'm loaded anyways, though. Where you're outside and you're having to deal with the bugs and the swarm of stuff. So that reminded me of that. The cop car, obviously, the level with Jack, where you had that. And I think there was a cage area near the end where it was almost like the level where you're dealing with, I forgot that jerk's name. The brother, Mia's brother in that game, that torments you in the barn. There was kind of like a little bit like that too. So it just felt reminiscent of Resident Evil 7, which is not bad. It was not a diss in any way. It was actually pretty cool. But I was looking at it, and we were walking towards the cop car, and I was just kind of walking towards it, and kind of dumb-faced, like, oh, hey, this reminds me of Resident Evil 7. This is kind of cool. And we were kind of in the back of a group of people. We were just walking, and I'm just like, oh, it's kind of cool. This reminds me of Resident Evil 7. There's a cop car, and we just walked over a lake, and things are kind of cool. And then I didn't realize there was an actor or a performer there, and he slammed his hands on the car, and just like, yeah, just startled me again. So things like that got me. And like I said, I think maybe I was up to like 4, and the girlfriend might have only been up to like 2 or 3. But the thing is about haunted houses like that, I think, is it's hard to be scared for me, this is just my take on it. I don't know if anyone agrees. If you've been to one and you saw something similar to what I described, you can leave it in yon comments. The thing is you're moving so fast, relative term fast, but you have to kind of just keep moving through those things. There's really not a chance to be lost in the atmosphere, I guess. Like, you're just kind of hustling from start to finish. You're not, it's not like you're, and I mean, financially, business-wise, it totally makes sense. Like, you want more people to go through, you know, you can't have people waiting, you know, an hour to go through a haunted house in groups of 2. You know, you'd never get any business that way. You'd never have anything happen. But you move so quick that even though some of it's cheesy anyways at its onset, like if you just really like look at it ostensibly, like you're walking through a trailer, an empty metal trailer. You're walking through, you know, a shell of a house that's supposed to look scary. I mean, even ostensibly, it sounds goofy, but you're walking through at such a quick pace that you don't really get immersed in the experience, I think, as much, and it's just hard to get scared because you're kind of like, okay, well, I gotta go here now. Like, I don't have time for you to scare me. I kind of gotta go here now. And it's no diss on the performers or the actors that are there. It's no diss on any of them. It's literally, I think, just the pacing of some of the houses. And I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if this is all of them that you ever go to. But these ones, it seems like the pacing is too quick sometimes. I wish, and there probably is. I mean, I watched, there's a documentary on Netflix. It's about, like, the really kind of extreme haunted houses. Like, well, one of them's extreme, but it talks about the more... Oh, no, I think it is all extreme haunted house. I think it's called Extreme Haunters or something like that. And it talks about the one in, like, there's one, I don't even know where it's at. I won't pretend I know. But you sign a waiver, and it's like 10 hours. And it's extreme. Like, you're enduring some shit, so to say. Like, you sign a pretty beefy waiver, and they're going to mess with you hardcore. Like, almost like, who's that writer? Jack Ketchum, I think. I read one of his books, like The Girl Next Door or whatever. Like, that kind, like, that's a level of torment that I don't even know if I would want to do as a horror fan, because it's a lot. And they talk to, like, the neighbor. There's a neighbor that lives next to him that she actually signed up more than once, but she talks about it, and then they show parts of the haunt and everything like that. Like the guy makes videos. I think he puts them on YouTube even. So it may be possible to find footage of this haunt. And like I said, if you have Netflix, you can always check out the show, and then you'll see exactly which one I'm talking about. But the almost went the wrong way. The extreme nature of it. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if that would be scary to me or it's just torture. Like, I don't really know if torture is that scary to me. I guess it would strike that fear nerve. Like, it would hit that same nerve of being scared, but I think it's scared for a different reason. So I don't know if that would be my answer to my complaint right now. But I think having haunted houses where you can go through them a little slower would allow you to be a little more immersed. But I don't know how commercially viable you'd be able to make that without it just being extremely limited to the number of people that could go through it. Like, if you had, putting on the old thinking cap on the noggin now, if you had one extremely well crafted, I mean, okay, so the buildings on the right that are coming up here, let's take those, because I've seen those around Arizona. We're still in Arizona, so I know if you have maybe a warehouse like that looks like a truck warehouse or somewhere where they have loading docks or something. Let's say you had a building of that size. You might be able to make, let's say, maybe 3, maybe extremely well crafted experiences in there. And that's using a huge amount of space. And that's part of the problem too. You got to use a huge amount of space. But let's say you make 3 different extremely well crafted experiences. If you could make it to where you timed it to like maybe a half hour, 40-minute experience, that would probably scare some people. The show, I know it talks about extreme haunters, but it does also show, I remember now that I'm talking about it, it does show a guy who does his, I think he uses his mom's house for it, and he's actually, I think he's blind. I think he's day blind or something, like he can't see in the daytime or something. He's got something wrong with his eyes. But he makes it at his mom's house, and he does it every year in the little town he lives in. And the lady he's married to didn't seem to appreciate it as much as I was like, well, that's cool, man, because I think he used to be a makeup effect artist or something like that. So I mean, he's got some talent, but you know, I believe they talk about timing the experience and trying to plan for scares, and it's hard. I mean, let's be honest. In the horror is very subjective. Like I said, I just talked about an extreme one where you're kind of being tortured. That's subjective. You know, that might be scary to a lot of people, or it might not be, because it just might not be something that disturbs you. But the idea to try to figure out how to scare someone at a decent amount of time, it's hard because you can't always predict what's going to work for people. You know, sometimes somebody jumping out saying boo is what scares someone. That's just the way people are. Sometimes a loud sound, that's what scares a lot of people, because it startles you, you know. So I get that it would be hard to maybe craft that type of experience. And maybe there are. Honestly, I've never been to Universal Studios, because they have that horror nights or haunted nights or whatever they call it. That would probably be awesome. Who knows? That's probably amazing, because that's Hollywood magic. I mean, they have all the tools at their disposal. So, you know, who knows? They could probably craft a really cool experience there. What? Why does my engine just drop all of a sudden? What's my condition like? 8%. I'll need to hit a mechanic after this one. Am I using this exit? No, I am not. Through traffic. Use the right lanes or left lanes. I don't know. I think that would make a better experience for people who have a hard time being scared, without going too extreme. I mean, I wouldn't want it to be extreme, but why does my engine keep doing that? Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to hit a mechanic. Sucker's wanting to kill itself, it sounds like, and I'm only at 8% damage. So I don't know, but I liked it. I like going to Fear Farm. I haven't been there in years. And they have 5 houses, a maze, axe throwing. They have mini escape rooms that you can do on site there, like little 5-minute escape rooms, which I've never done one of those. That would kind of be cool. And I'm talking, but I'm also looking because I don't want to screw up my road here. All right, I gotta go this way. I just gotta cut everybody off. Oh no, oh no, no. Oh no, 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 no. I screwed that up. My favorite part is how I said I'm talking, but I don't want to screw it up, and I screwed it up anyways. So, how far? Oh man. Like, this makes me want to GTA it and just like turn around and go the other way. I don't even think you can get across the highway if I tried. Well, kids, we're gonna be here a little longer, it seems. Yeah, get over. Oh, look at that. Oh, ho, ho. Oh. American Truck Simulator. You did not tell me I could just cross over. Look at that, I just shaved an hour off my time. Now, I will say I shouldn't have done that. However, I am not mad at that. I didn't know if I'd be able to do that. I think in Euro Truck you can't cross medians like that, but I'm not sure. I don't think I've tried it too much. Maybe there was just walls and stuff. But that worked. I'll take it. I don't know. That's my piece on haunted houses. I think it'd be nice to find an experience that's lengthy without going to extremes. But like I said, I like Fear Farm. I used to know somebody. I mean, I still technically know them, but I haven't talked to them in a while. But I used to know somebody that would work at Fear Farm, and they really enjoyed it. And then her and her husband ended up doing it for years. I don't know if they still do it. I don't think they do. And if they do, maybe they only do it on the weekends. Because yesterday was a Tuesday and I didn't see them. But I think it's a cool place. I like it. I like that there's a place for people who like horror to go check that stuff out. And I dig the shirt. No, not sponsored. No, not anything. Literally, like everything, if I like something and I'm wearing a shirt, I'm gonna talk about it. So that's haunted houses. I can't believe I got scared. Just staring right at the witch. Oh, that's a nice mask you have on. Yeah. I kind of felt dumb. Deservedly so. I kind of felt dumb. The coolest thing I think was seeing the kids there. Like it's cool to see parents taking their kids to do stuff like that. Because I think horror as a genre overall doesn't get a lot of love. I think it gets more love these days than it did when I was growing up and starting to get into it, but I think it doesn't get as much love as it could. So it was cool to see parents taking their kids, and I was like, yeah, I would take my kid when they're old enough. And maybe that's a little bit why it's toned down. I don't know. Maybe they're just appealing to the mass audience. Maybe what I am seeking is more of a niche thing that requires non-youngins, because I think kids to adults were there, so it's possible, but maybe that's why too. But like I said, it doesn't detract from the experience. But I think it's cool that people are getting their kids into horror as well, because they might not all be fans. I mean, it is Halloween. Halloween's kind of for the kids, you know, with the candy and the costumes and the hey. But I think horror deserves to have some fans. I think that the one thing I like about horror movies is they're just, even if they're not scary, they're interesting. Because they play on, they try to play on someone's fears. I mean, I might not find it scary, but someone will probably be afraid of something that I'm not scared of, which is interesting. Like comedy, it's kind of like that with a lot of stuff. I mean, comedy is also subjective, but I think in general, there's a lot of like similar-minded ideas that, you know, will make a lot of people laugh easily. Like, it's easy to nail an audience for that. Like, you can go, like, some people like slapstick comedy, you know, like Three Stooges, probably like early Jim Carrey, like in the 90s Jim Carrey, kind of that really physical, I guess physical would be a better phrase for it, but physical comedy where it's, you know, whole body. Chris Farley, I think, did a lot of that stuff. There's that kind of comedy. There's, you know, there's smart comedy where it's dialogue based. You know, a lot of Kevin Smith movies around the 90s and stuff. I like those because they're kind of smart. Like, you gotta listen and it's all quirky, kind of that snapfire wording, phrasing. I think what's his name, Judd Apatow, early 2000s, tried to do a lot of that. Like, it wasn't as physical or slapsticky, so to say. It was more word based, you know, comedy, smart, you know, like you might miss a joke if you didn't think about it. Then he started to do too much of the old riffing, and that kind of got old because everybody wanted to do the riffing part. The riffing is kind of like obviously what you see in Deadpool with TJ Wilson? TJ Miller. There we go. I knew I'd get it. Like his character when he's talking about like what Deadpool's face looks like after he sees him after his transformation. You know, that's riffing. You know, it's kind of a lot of that. I mean, it's okay, but I think that's kind of gotten played out. But I think horror is definitely a genre that's interesting because it's hard to find what really terrifies or scares people, I think, because it's not universal. And even people that might be afraid of clowns, for instance, some of them might be just afraid of seeing clowns, some of them might be afraid of the noise of a clown for whatever reason. You know, they might be afraid of different parts of it. Can't believe we already made it to my trip, right in the middle of my dialogue. Can't believe there's not a mechanic in San Simon, this small little town. How am I supposed to get my stupid truck fixed? Because apparently it keeps shutting down. Alright. Oh, no, don't speed up. Slow down. No, I don't want to skip parking when you're giving me such a layup. Or what I think is a layup. Yep. Layup. He shoots, he scores. Give me that money. Short trip, nice short trip. Still a 40-minute video, but nice short trip. Continue. Alright, so for this video, we'll stop it there. I'm going to try to make sure I don't make 2-hour-long videos, because that's a long time to watch me ramble on and drive. I still want to make long videos, but gee golly, after the last one, I want to make sure I'm keeping them short for you guys, as we listen to music that will no doubt be flagged on my channel. Anyways, we will see you in the next one. Like I said, hopefully the wheel will be completed shortly. Maybe not by the next video, but hopefully the one after that. Because, of course, I'm going to record the next one here in a second. Because the good times are going to keep on rolling. But for now, we'll see you later. If you liked it, like, comment, subscribe. Otherwise, keep on trucking. Maddeningly. Maddeningly. I can't say it. Maddeningly loud. Maddeningly, ow. It's super loud and it's super annoying. That's all I'm gonna say. Maddeningly. Whatever. It's like I can't get it down. Alright.